Greetings, nerdlings, and welcome to AmalgamNation presents World of Loreccraft, Factioncraft, Blood Knights edition. The Blood Knights are an elite group of Blood Elf Paladins serving as Silvermoon's equivalent of the Knights of the Silver Hand. As High Elves, many were members of the Church of Light, many later became priests, and a few became paladins. After the Third War, the majority of High Elves became Blood Elves, and soon the race began to lose its light-giving powers, thus they needed to find a new way to access the light. They did this by sapping light energy from the captive Muru held beneath the Blood Knight headquarters. In a mad lust for power, Caeltus Sunstrider sent the Fellblood to attack Silvermoon City and seize Muru for his own personal uses. Blood Knights are now pledged to aid Adal and the Shattered Sun offensive in defeating Kil'jaeden. Not long ago in Outland, Prince Caeltus Sunstrider and his Blood Elves waited until the newly arrived Naru departed Tempest Keep. He had little interest in what the Naru hoped to accomplish on this shattered world. It was Tempest Keep that had brought him here. At the prince's signal, the elves stormed the dimensional fortress, quickly defeating its automated defenses and claiming its satellite structures. The only real threat to the elves discovered was a lone Naru who had stayed behind to maintain the keep's defenses. With some difficulty, Caeltus subdued the energy being and sent it to Quel'Thalas so that the magic-addicted blood elves could feed upon it. Back in the capital city of Silvermoon, Magister Astalor Bloodsworn was not content with this idea. After long months of study and experimentation, he and his fellow wizards learned how to manipulate and corrupt the Naru's luminous energies. In the end, the wizards devised a process by which the powers of the light could be transferred to recipients who had not earned such abilities. Instead of feeding upon the Naru's magic, Blood Elves would wield the Naru's light-giving powers themselves. Lady Liadrin, formerly a priestess, had recently renounced her vows, for she felt the light had abandoned her people. She learned of the wizard's achievement and volunteered to be the first to bend the stolen powers to her will. With her decision, a new order was born, the Blood Knights. These renegade paladins are able to harness the sacred powers of the Alliance's noblest heroes. Though many Blood Elves applauded the creation of the Blood Knights, just as many disliked their methods and their attitude, especially the Farstriders. Curiously, the Naru don't express any sort of dislike for the Blood Knights and even allow them in their cities. Blood Knights, despite their capture of Muru, don't seem to have an enmity with the Naru of Shattered City, some even living in the city. It is also important to note that not all Blood Elves abandoned their former ways to become Blood Knights. A very small minority of Blood Elves continue to follow their path as true paladins of the light. This minority has increased due to the events that came during and after the events at the Magister's Terrace. Travelling to Quel'Thalas once more, Caeltus and his Fellblood minions entered Silvermoon, took Muru from his place under Blood Knight headquarters, and took the Naru to the Sunwell Plateau. In the empty chamber, the magisters that drained the light energy stood around, dazed. Young initiates seeking to learn the powers of resurrection, who would normally tap the power directly from Muru, must instead collect the residual holy energies from the dazed magisters. Seeing Caeltus's treachery for herself, Lady Liadrin travelled to Shattered and met with Adal, who informed her that Muru had known his fate to aid in the redemption of the people of Quel'Thalas, as prophesied by Velen. With this new insight, Liadrin pledged herself and the Order to the Shattar and the Shattered Sun offensive. The army raised to battle Caeltus and his nefarious master Kil'jaeden. With Liadrin absent from Silvermoon, the duties of training aspiring masters, normally undertaken by Liadrin herself, are now being handled by Lord Solinar Bloodrat. Muru's death and the reawakening of the Sunwell through the use of his spark has led to the beginning of the path to redemption for the whole Sindorai race. The Blood Knight Order has since embraced the light and are on the way to becoming true paladins. Roughly 2 months following the discovery of Pandaria, Lortimer Theron led a Blood Knight division to the mist-shrouded continent. The Blood Knights serve as either protectors of the reliquary or as the personal honour guard of the Regent Lord himself in Kunlai Summit. The Blood Knights are additionally fielded on the side of Thunder, just as the Sunreaver onslaught is near the point of breaching the stronghold of Lei Shen, the Thunder King. Furthermore, a Blood Knight regiment can be seen at the Sindorai base camp located at the Dawnseeker promontory. Fighting the Iron Horde. The Blood Knights are the primary force of the Sunsworn, being personally led by Lady Liadrin herself. The Sunsworn hope to drive out the foul taint of demonic corruption in the region, and allied with the Auchenai to defend the Draenei's sacred area, Auchendun, from agents of the Burning Legion. Primarily situated in Talador, members of the Order can be found all over Draenor, from Horde garrisons to maintaining a minor presence in Nagrand. Turmoil in the Horde and Pandaria. The Blood Knight Order, following the banishment of Kil'jaeden, now channel their power through the renewed Sunwell. With the increasing militarization of Garrosh Hellscream's reign, the Blood Knights initially lent considerable support to the Orcish war chief, although following the purge of Dalaran, opinions have split between supporting the increasingly deranged Orc and serving their country. They played a large role in the fight against the Thunder King as part of the Sunreaver onslaught. The Blood Knights mostly support the efforts of Regent Lord Lortimer Theron and his eventual support of the Darkspear Rebellion. Thus they are present at the Battle of Orgrimmar and the defeat of Garrosh Hellscream. The Order played a major role in the war against the Horde in the new altered timeline after Garrosh's escape from captivity. With the escape of Gul'dan and the impending return of the Burning Legion, the Paladins of the Blood Knight Order were needed more than ever before to combat the threat presented by the demonic forces of Sargeras. To that end, they fought alongside other Horde forces at the Battle on the Broken Shore. In the days thereafter, they would lend their support to the reformed Knights of the Silver Hand. There are a great number of similarities between Alliance and Horde Paladins, but there are also major variations of the Horde Paladins over the Alliance cousins. These are but a few. At level 20, Blood Elf Paladins receive a quest from Night Lord Bloodvalor in Silvermoon to create a spear that serves as both weapon and badge of office as a Blood Knight Adept. However, many have complained that the result, the Blood-Tempered Rancer, is weaker than both the sword Sindorai Wardblade, the quest reward for killing Darkan Drathir, and the Alliance's own paladin weapon, the mace Vergen's Fist. However, the Blood-Tempered Rancer does have subtle advantages. The stat buffs are substantial, +6 strength and intellect, +9 stamina, as opposed to the Warblade's +10 strength, +4 stamina, no intellect bonus, or the Vergen's Fist +7 stamina, 6 intellect, and 12 spirit, no strength bonus. And the weapon is quicker, allowing more chances to interrupt enemy casting, as well as more chances to score crits. Also, not to be overlooked from an RP aspect, is the weapon's undeniable visual appeal and striking distinctiveness. Like the Alliance, Blood Elf Paladins receive their class-specific warhorse and charger mount at level 20 and 40 respectively. There are also variations in appearance. Alliance Paladin horses are white with blue livery and silver armour plating, gold at level 60. Blood Elf Paladin horses are black with red livery and brass armour plating. Upon completing the Charger quest, in addition to receiving the epic mount, Blood Elf Paladins receive the Blood Knight Tabard to mark their promotion to the rank of Master in the Blood Knight Order. This is the only mount quest on either side that provides a tabard in addition to the mount. I should say provided, since there are no longer those quests to receive the Warhorse and the Charger. There are 8 ranks within the Blood Knight Order, 6 excluding Lady Liadrin's and Solinar Blood Rat's exclusive unattainable ranks of Lord and Matriarch. Initiate is the lowest, where all Blood Knights begin at level 12. Adept is obtained after completing Blood Tempered Rancer around level 20 to 25 and learning Summon Warhorse. Knight obtained after learning the Blood Charger summon at level 40. Master obtained after completing the Blood Charger quest and receiving the Blood Knight Tabard around level 60. This rank is also held by some NPCs, such as Master Piranor in Orgrimmar. Champion. Some Blood Elf Paladin trainers, example Champion Sissa Dawnrose in the Undercity, have this rank, presumably attained through loyalty to the Order and going above and beyond the calls of a Blood Knight's duty. Night Lord, presumably the teachers of aspiring Blood Knights, such as Night Lord Blood Valor in Silvermoon. They are the highest ranking among the Blood Knights outside Lady Liadrin and Solinar Bloodrat respectively. They answer only to the Matriarch and Lord of the Order, or others of the Night Lord rank. Lord, the rank held by Lord Solinar Bloodrat, serving as the right hand of the Matriarch while she is out of the city. And lastly, Matriarch, the rank held by Lady Liadrin, supreme leader of the Blood Knight Order. Concerns and controversy. The introduction of paladins to the Horde along with shamans to the Alliance was initially controversial. The decision to eliminate faction-specific classes was explained by Blizzard as an attempt to refine and distinguish the two classes from one another. They had previously suffered from comparisons of their abilities, and the attempt to balance them, and yet have them remain distinct, led to two classes becoming more and more similar to one another. The introduction of these classes to both sides would reduce the controversial issue of faction balance. Nevertheless, this decision was met with some criticism by players, and even Blizzard employees have expressed that the decision was not an easy one. The Blood Knight Order appears to hold political sway within Quel'Thalas, the Silvermoon Guardians appearing to be particularly respectful to both the Blood Knight player and the champion Vranesh. On the other end of the spectrum, they do not seem to hold the Farstriders in a very high regard. Thank you for watching, and as always, remember, play to game and game to play.